Today our topic is the science of habits, how to make good ones stick. Habits are like the invisible architecture of our lives. They shape what we do, how we think, and who we become. But what exactly are habits? In simple terms, a habit is a behavior that we repeat so often that it becomes automatic. Think about brushing your teeth in the morning. You don't have to think hard about it, you just do it. That's a habit. The good news is that habits can be changed, and new ones can be formed. The key is understanding how they work. Habits are made up of three parts: the cue, the routine, and the reward. The cue is what triggers the habit. It could be a time of day, a place, or even an emotion. For example, feeling stressed might be a cue to eat something sweet. The routine is the behavior itself, like eating a cookie. The reward is what you get out of it, like a temporary feeling of comfort. Over time, your brain connects the cue and the reward, and the habit becomes automatic. To change a habit, you need to understand this loop and find ways to replace the routine with something better. Let's say you want to stop eating junk food when you're stressed. First, identify the cue. Maybe it's feeling overwhelmed at work. Next, think about the reward. What are you really getting from eating that cookie? Is it comfort, a break, or just a distraction? Once you know the cue and the reward, you can try to replace the routine. Instead of eating a cookie, maybe you could take a short walk or do some deep breathing. Over time, this new behavior can become a habit, and you'll start doing it without thinking. But changing habits isn't easy. It takes time, effort, and patience. One reason habits are hard to break is that they are deeply rooted in our brains. When we repeat a behavior, our brain creates neural pathways that make it easier to do that behavior again. The more we repeat it, the stronger these pathways become. This is why old habits can feel so hard to break. But the good news is that the brain is flexible. It can form new pathways, which means we can create new habits. To make good habits stick, start small. Don't try to change everything at once. Focus on one habit at a time. For example, if you want to start exercising, don't commit to running 5 miles every day. Start with something small, like walking for 10 minutes. Once that becomes a habit, you can build on it. The key is consistency. Doing something small every day is more effective than doing something big once in a while. Another important tip is to make the habit easy to do. If you want to read more, keep a book by your bed. If you want to drink more water, carry a water bottle with you. The easier it is to do the habit, the more likely you are to stick with it. You can also use cues to your advantage. For example, if you want to meditate every morning, do it right after you brush your teeth. This way, brushing your teeth becomes the cue for meditation. Rewards are also important. When you do the habit, give yourself a small reward. It could be something simple, like crossing off a day on your calendar or giving yourself a few minutes to relax. The reward helps your brain associate the habit with something positive, which makes it more likely that you'll repeat it. One of the biggest challenges in forming new habits is staying motivated. Motivation can come and go, but habits don't rely on motivation. They rely on repetition. Even if you don't feel like doing something, do it anyway. Over time it will become easier, and you won't need as much motivation to keep going. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we can't. This is a useful mindset when it comes to habits. You can't control how you feel every day, but you can control your actions. If you commit to doing something every day, even when you don't feel like it, you'll build discipline and resilience. This is how good habits are formed. Another important aspect of habits is environment. Your surroundings can have a big impact on your behavior. If you want to eat healthier, keep healthy food in your house. If you want to spend less time on your phone, put it in another room. By changing your environment, you can make it easier to stick to good habits and harder to fall back into bad ones. Social support is also important. Tell your friends or family about your goals and ask for their support. Having someone to cheer you on can make a big difference. You can also find a habit buddy, someone who has similar goals and can keep you accountable. It's also important to be patient with yourself. Forming a new habit takes time. Research shows that it can take anywhere from 18 to 254 days to form a new habit, depending on the person and the habit. Don't get discouraged if you don't see results right away. Keep going, even if progress feels slow. Every small step counts. One common mistake people make is trying to be perfect. If you miss a day or slip up, don't give up. One mistake doesn't mean you've failed. What matters is getting back on track. Progress, not perfection, is the goal. Finally, remember why you're doing this. What is the bigger goal behind the habit? Maybe you want to be healthier, more productive, or less stressed. Keeping your why in mind can help you stay motivated, especially when the going gets tough. In conclusion, habits are powerful because they shape our lives in small but meaningful ways. By understanding how habits work and using strategies like starting small, making habits easy, and focusing on consistency, you can make good habits stick. It's not always easy, but with patience and persistence, you can create lasting change. Remember, every habit you form is a step toward becoming the person you want to be. So take it one day at a time and keep moving forward.